I'm Emily, a regular 26-year-old girl with dreams of living a fairy tale life. And guess what? I'm about to marry the man of my dreams, James. Let me tell you all about how we met and fell head over heels in love. It all started at a charity gala. I was dressed in my finest gown, feeling like a princess when our eyes locked across the crowded room. There he was, James, tall, handsome, and exuding an air of confidence. He walked towards me, his smile captivating me instantly. "Hi, I'm James," he said, extending his hand. "I'm Emily," I replied, blushing like a schoolgirl. "Nice to meet you." Little did I know that James was not only charming, but also incredibly wealthy. As we spent more time together, it became evident that we shared a deep connection and a similar vision for a life of luxury and comfort. Over the next few months, our relationship blossomed, and James proposed to me in the most romantic way imaginable. Picture this: a candlelit rooftop dinner under a starry sky, soft music playing in the background, and James down on one knee, holding out a dazzling diamond ring. "Emily, you are the love of my life," he said, his voice filled with genuine emotion. "Will you marry me?" Tears of joy streamed down my face as I nodded vigorously and choked out, "Yes, James." 1,000 times? We couldn't contain our excitement, and soon we were busy planning our dream wedding. The guest list was meticulously curated, with influential people from high society. The venue was none other than the breathtaking Blenheim Villa, a place that exuded elegance and grandeur. As we finalized the wedding details, James and I decided to throw a lavish pre-wedding party for all our friends. We wanted to celebrate our love and share our joy with those closest to us. It was going to be an unforgettable night. And so, with invitations sent and the anticipation building, I couldn't help but daydream about the life that awaited me as James' wife, the grandeur, the trips to exotic destinations, and the social circles we would become a part of. It was like a fairy tale come true. But little did I know that beneath the surface of this perfect picture, darkness lurked, ready to shatter my dreams. The day of the pre-wedding party arrived, and Blenheim Villa was adorned with twinkling lights, vibrant flowers, and an atmosphere of celebration. As the sun began to set, guests started pouring in, dressed in their finest attire, ready to revel in the festivities. Laughter echoed through the hallways as friends and family mingled, sipping on champagne and indulging in delectable hors d'oeuvres. The air was charged with excitement, and I couldn't help but feel a surge of anticipation in my chest. Amidst the buzz of conversations, I caught sight of my sister, Sarah, joining the festivities. She looked radiant in her elegant gown, her smile mirroring my own. Sarah and I had always shared a close bond, and having her there on this special night meant the world to me. As the night progressed, the energy escalated. The DJ played a mix of upbeat tunes, enticing guests to hit the dance floor and let loose. James and I were the center of attention, gliding across the dance floor in a state of pure joy. Amidst the revelry, I noticed James and Sarah engaged in an intense conversation near the bar. Something felt off, a flicker of unease that I couldn't shake, but I brushed it aside, attributing it to wedding jitters. Curiosity got the better of me, and I made my way over to where James and Sarah stood. Their voices lowered as they noticed my approach, but I caught fragments of their conversation. "I can't believe you're doing this," Sarah whispered, her tone laced with a mix of excitement and guilt. "I know, but Emily is too naive. She doesn't belong in our world," James responded, a hint of arrogance in his voice. My heart sank, and a lump formed in my throat. What were they talking about? Was there something they weren't telling me? Panic gnawed at my insides as I felt a wave of betrayal wash over me. As the echoes of their hurtful confessions still reverberated in my mind, I couldn't bear to stay at the party any longer. Determination mixed with a cocktail of emotions propelled me forward, driving me to find James and Sarah and demand the truth. I left the vibrant crowd behind, my steps quickening as I made my way through the expansive halls of Blenheim Villa. The house seemed to whisper secrets as I ascended the staircase, the sound of my racing heartbeat drowning out the distant music. Every creak of the floorboards beneath my feet felt like an ominous reminder of the fracture in my once-perfect world. Following an instinctual tug, I arrived at the second floor, where silence enveloped the hallway. The doors loomed before me, each holding the potential to unveil the heart-wrenching truth. My hand trembled as I reached for the doorknob of the nearest room, bracing myself for what lay beyond. Pushing open the door, I stepped into a dimly lit space, the air heavy with anticipation. There, before me, I saw a scene that shattered the remnants of my trust. James and Sarah stood close, their laughter mingling with the sound of whispered sighs. "What do you mean, Sarah? How could you betray me like this?" I blurted out, my voice trembling with a mix of pain and anger. Their expressions froze, guilt etched across their faces. James attempted to speak, but I couldn't bear to hear his lies anymore. How long has this been going on? Did you ever truly love me? I choked out, my voice trembling with raw emotion. Sarah, seemingly emboldened by her newfound revelation, stepped forward, her voice laced with condescension. Emily, face the truth. You were never meant to be a part of our world. James and I understand each other on a different level, a level you can never comprehend. Anguish tightened its grip around my heart as tears welled up in my eyes. But, Sarah, we were sisters. How could you betray our bond like this? Sarah's expression hardened, her voice cold and distant. Money talks, Emily, it always has. And James and I have realized that we deserve a life of luxury and privilege. James, his true colors now laid bare, or a self-satisfied smirk. Emily, I'm sorry it had to end this way, but Sarah and I are meant to be together. We're building a future that you could never be a part of. The pain surged through me, mingling with a newfound sense of anger and determination. I refused to be a victim in their twisted game. With a surge of strength, I spoke through gritted teeth. Fine. If you want a life built on greed and betrayal, then you can have it. But know this. I will never forget what you've done, and I will make sure you both regret this. Their expressions faltered for a moment, caught off guard by my resolute determination. But as they recovered, James simply shrugged, an air of arrogance lingering around him. Do whatever you want, Emily. It won't change the fact that Sarah and I are meant. With that, I turned my back on them, leaving the room that held the remnants of my shattered dreams. As I walked away, the weight of their betrayal settled on my shoulders, fueling a fire within me. A fire that would drive me to seek justice and reclaim my dignity. The realization of James and Sarah's treachery weighed heavily on my heart as I left the room, their laughter echoing behind me. Anger and hurt intertwined, fueling a fire within me that demanded justice and retribution. I couldn't let their betrayal go unanswered. With a determined stride, I made my way back to the party, my mind racing with a mix of emotions. I needed to confront them, to expose their deceit in front of everyone. The pulsating music and animated conversations provided a stark contrast to the storm brewing within me. Spotting Sarah in the crowd, I approached her with a gaze hardened by pain. Sarah, we need to talk, I said, my voice trembling with a mix of anger and sadness. She turned to face me, feigning innocence. What's the matter, Emily? Can't handle the truth? I took a deep breath, trying to maintain my composure. How could you do this to me, Sarah? You were my sister, someone I trusted. And now you're standing here gloating about your betrayal. A flash of guilt flickered across her eyes, but she quickly masked it with defiance. You're naive, Emily. You always have been. James and I belong together, and we've realized that we deserve a life of luxury and privilege. You were holding us back. My heart sank at her words, the pain deepening. I turned my attention to James, who stood nearby, watching the scene unfold. And you, James, did you ever truly love me, or was it all a charade? He met my gaze, his eyes void of any remorse. Emily, you have to understand. Sarah and I have a connection that you could never comprehend. Money opens doors and offers a life of comfort that you can never provide. The weight of their callous words settled on my shoulders, but amidst the pain, a flicker of strength ignited within me. I refused to be a pawn in their twisted game, a casualty of their greed. Tears streaming down my face, I mustered the strength to confront both. You may think you've won, but I won't let your betrayal define me. I deserve better than this, and I will rise above it, Sarah sneered, her tone dripping with superiority. Good luck with that, Emily. We'll be living the life of luxury while you're left with nothing. Her words stung, but they also ignited a fire within me. As I turned away from them, I vowed to myself that I would not let their betrayal crush me. I would find a way to rebuild my life and show them the strength that lies within me. With a heavy heart, I left the party, leaving behind the shattered fragments of my dreams. The night air offered solace as I walked away, determined to heal my broken heart and seek the justice that they deserved. Little did they know, revenge would be my guiding light, and they would soon face the consequences of their actions. As the weight of betrayal settled within me, a newfound determination took root. I couldn't let James and Sarah's actions go unpunished. They had shattered my trust and trampled on my dreams, but I refused to be a victim. It was time to take control and seek the justice that they deserved. I confided in my father, a man of integrity and influence, who happened to be the owner of the company where James worked. His love and support bolstered my resolve, and together we devised a plan to make them pay for their deceit. In a private meeting, I poured my heart out to my father, recounting the details of James and Sarah's betrayal. Anger flashed in his eyes, his protective instincts kicking into high gear. "Emily, I won't let them get away with this," my father vowed, his voice filled with determination. "I will take immediate action to ensure they regret what they've done." With my father's support, he swiftly terminated all contracts between his company and James' business. It was a blow that left James reeling, his world crumbling around him. The consequences of his actions were finally catching up to him. The taste of revenge still lingered on my tongue as I basked in the newfound strength that came from taking back control of my life. James and Sarah had underestimated the power of my resilience, thinking they could walk away unscathed. Little did they know, justice was about to be served. My father, a man of influence and integrity, held the key to their downfall. He wasted no time in unleashing his wrath upon them, ensuring that they would regret their betrayal. Through his connections and strategic maneuvers, he swiftly terminated all contracts between his company and James' business, leaving James in financial ruins. As the news of their professional downfall spread like wildfire, whispers of their treachery reached the ears of influential individuals who were once part of our wedding guest list. Their actions had tainted their reputations, and they were swiftly shunned by the social circles they had once sought to impress. But my father's retribution didn't stop there. In a poignant twist, he revealed to me that he had intended to gift the exquisite villa, the symbol of our shattered dreams, to James and me for our wedding. However, due to James' despicable behavior, my father made the decision to bestow the villa solely upon me. The news filled my heart with a mix of gratitude and determination. It was a physical manifestation of their defeat, a sanctuary that now belonged solely to me, a testament to my resilience and newfound independence. As I settled into the opulent surroundings of the villa, its grandeur serving as a constant reminder of my triumph, I couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. James and Sarah had reaped what they had sown, left with nothing but the bitter taste of their own deceit. It's turned into weeks, and I embraced the tranquility of my new home, relishing in the freedom it provided. I focused on healing my wounded heart, surrounded by the echoes of my broken dreams, yet empowered by the strength that had emerged from the ashes of betrayal. And then, just as I had begun to rebuild my life, a phone call shattered the tranquility of my sanctuary. It was James, his voice laden with desperation. "Emily, please, I beg you, we've run out of money. Sarah and I have hit rock bottom. Can we spend the night at the villa?" Just this once? I listened to his pleas, his words filled with a mix of remorse and regret. A part of me relished in their desperation, the stark reminder of the consequences they faced for their actions. But I knew that true strength lay in rising above such vindictiveness. With a calm yet unwavering voice, I responded, "James, you and Sarah brought this upon yourselves. You made your choices, and now you must face the consequences. I will not let you back into my life or into the sanctuary that was once meant for us." He pleaded further, his words growing increasingly desperate, but I remained resolute. I had moved on from the pain they had inflicted, and I wouldn't allow them to disrupt the newfound peace and happiness I had forged for myself. As I ended the call, a sense of closure washed over me. Justice had been served, and I had emerged stronger than ever. Their pleas fell upon deaf ears, and the doors to my sanctuary remained firmly closed to them. In that moment, I knew that I had triumphed over their betrayal, that I had taken control of my life and reclaimed my happiness. Their actions had set off a chain of events that had reshaped my path, leading me towards a future that was solely mine to mold. As I stood within the walls of the villa, a symbol of my victory, I marveled at the power of resilience and the ability to overcome adversity. Revenge had played its part, but now it was time to let go of the bitterness and focus on the possibilities that lay ahead. The days turned into weeks, and the weeks into a month, as I relished in the newfound peace and happiness that enveloped my life. The villa, once intended to be the backdrop of a fairy tale wedding, had become my sanctuary, a symbol of triumph over betrayal and a reminder of my strength. One sunny morning, as I sipped a cup of coffee on the terrace, my phone rang. The screen displayed an all-too-familiar name, James. A mixture of curiosity and satisfaction coursed through me as I answered the call. "What do you want, James?" I asked, my voice laced with a newfound confidence. His voice trembled with desperation on the other end of the line. "Emily, Millie, we're in a difficult situation. Sarah and I have run out of money. We have nowhere to go. Can we please stay at the villa just for one night?" I couldn't help but savor the irony in his plea. The tables had turned and the power dynamics had shifted. Karma had finally caught up with them. A smirk played at the corners of my lips as I responded, "James, you once said that I was too poor for you. Well, it seems like you found out the true value of money. I think you and Sarah deserve this taste of reality. The doors of the villa will remain closed to you." His voice cracked with desperation. "Emily, please. We're desperate. We have nowhere else to go." "And whose fault is that?" I retorted, my tone firm. "You made your choices, James. Now you have to face the consequences." Ending the call, I felt a surge of satisfaction. They had thrown away our love for greed and material wealth, and now they were left with the consequences of their actions. This turned into weeks, and the news of James and Sarah's downfall spread like wildfire through social circles. Their deceit and betrayal had tarnished their reputations, and they found themselves ostracized from the very world they had so desperately sought to impress. Meanwhile, my father, true to his word, had taken further action. He terminated all professional ties with James' company, leaving him in a state of financial ruin. Their lives were crumbling around them, just as they had done to me. One evening, as I walked through the hallways of the villa, a sense of contentment washed over me. The grandeur and opulence that had once been meant for our shared future now belonged solely to me. A testament to my resilience and the triumph of justice, the memories of their betrayal no longer held power over me. I had emerged stronger, wiser, and ready to embrace the possibilities that life had to offer. But the sun set on their ill-gotten wealth, and I stood tall in the glow of my own success. I had not only survived their betrayal, but thrived in its aftermath. Sweet karma had prevailed, and I reveled in the knowledge that I had taken control of my life, reclaimed my happiness, and risen above their deceit. As I looked out at the horizon, a renewed sense of purpose ignited within me. The villa stood as a symbol of my triumph, a testament to the strength that lay within me. And with that strength, I would forge ahead, creating a future filled with genuine love, genuine connections, and genuine happiness.